Hey guys, it's Tammy. Welcome to my crazy channel. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And come join me on my crazy cancer journey. You never know quite what to expect. Do we really have to? Well, that's kind of rude.
Good morning, YouTube. Oh my god. I feel like someone's beating me. I think I gotta get up and get my pain meds. This is horrible. Even my whole scalp is killing me. I'm so tired still. Good morning. Hey guys, it's Tammy. I'm back. So today's video I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the other side effects that I'm getting from chemo, which is exhaustion. But before I do that, I wanted to tell you some updates. Today is Saturday. On Thursday, my home care nurse came to check up on me, and she generally comes about once a week, unless I need her to come earlier. I call and say, you know, I need my nurse to come visit me. I live in Canada, and in Canada we have universal health care. One of the perks that we have for people who are terminal or palliative or live with a chronic illness, that getting out to a doctor's office or to a hospital sometimes is a little bit more difficult. We have what's called home care. And so basically that means that you're assigned a registered nurse, and she comes and she visits you on whatever schedule, whether it's daily or weekly, like in my case, or bi-weekly or whatever. But I have my own registered nurse. Her name's Shelly, and she's very nice. And so she comes and she does, you know, checks up on me, helps me with things that I need help with medically, or if I need a new prescription and I can't get to the doctor, she looks after all of that for me, which is really, really nice. I also am waiting to get what's called a palliative care doctor. And he's actually a doctor that does home visits. He will come to my home and visit me when I need to see the doctor. So I'm waiting to get approved for that, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I get approved for that. And he specializes in cancer. So I'm hoping. Here's to hoping. But so my home care nurse named Shelly came on Thursday, and she connected me to IV fluids because I'm dehydrated. And so now I got my line here, and then it connects to a water bag with fluids, saline, and I do 2 bags a day to help me because I'm having a really hard time keeping fluids down or even drinking fluids. My appetite has gone up. I'm eating a lot better, but my fluid intake has gone down. Today I noticed I'm not as hungry as I was yesterday, so I'm thinking my appetite's starting to down again, which is not good. I weighed myself this morning, and I haven't lost any weight, but I haven't gained any weight. And so I'm hoping I don't lose any weight before I see my oncologist on Thursday, so keeping my fingers crossed for that. So that's one thing that has happened. I am now connected. It's not IV like in the vein. It's actually in the skin. Here, let me show you. I'm just gonna, I don't know if you can see this. Can you, I'll move my camera. Sorry. So it goes underneath the skin. And what happens is it just, the bag, and I'll turn the camera around in a second to show you. So it goes in like that into the skin. And I'll turn the camera around. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty dark in here. But there it is. So I got a pole here and everything. But there it is. There's the bag. Yeah. So I got that to give me some fluid because I'm dehydrated. And the bad thing about being dehydrated, especially when you're doing chemotherapy, is you really need that fluid to flush the toxins out of your body after chemo. And one of the reasons I think that I'm having some pretty strong side effects, such as the really bad pain in my feet and legs and the exhaustion, is because I'm not drinking enough fluids, and therefore the toxins are not flushing out of the body enough. So hopefully, I just want to adjust my camera. There we go. So hopefully this saline solution, I'm doing 2 bags a day, will help me with the dehydration. Each bag contains 500 mils or 2 glasses of water. So I'm getting at least 4 glasses of water a day into my body. So yeah, we'll see how that works. And then I have to try my best to drink the other 4, which hasn't been happening. I'm lucky if I drink 1 glass of fluids a day. But my mom bought me some yop today, so hopefully, I love yop. I love yogurt, so hopefully that will help me. And then, of course, I have my cranberry juice, which I drink a lot of. And I do drink a lot of apple juice. And I bought the powdered Nesquik powder that you add to the milk for the chocolate milk. I don't like the pre-made chocolate milk, but I like the powder, and then you add the milk to it. I think because I can control how much chocolate, I like lots of chocolate in my milk. Really chocolatey. So that's probably why. What else? I see the oncologist on Thursday, and then if everything's good, I do my 3rd round of chemo on Friday, and on, I believe it's February 8th, I have my CT scan to check and see if the chemo is working. I was actually surprised they're doing a CT scan, because when I got diagnosed with the cancer, they did a PET scan. But obviously my oncologist knows what he's doing, so. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I've seen some questions, and I try to get to the questions on my videos. A lot of times I'm not feeling well, and I've been really suffering from the exhaustion. So it's been difficult for me to answer all the questions, but I've seen a few questions posted about my I Was Murdered video, about my doctor. And I guess people are concerned, and rightfully so, that by me not taking action against her, is she doing this to other people? I'm going to share this with you. So when my oncologist of the blood first discovered that lump in my neck and ordered the biopsy, she was not happy with my family doctor at all. In fact, she called her. So basically how it works at the Cross Cancer, I don't know how it works at other cancer centers, but how it works at the Cross Cancer Hospital in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, is you have the patient rooms where the patients go in. So we're sitting in a room here, and there's a door like just 5 feet away from us, if that. And the doctor's offices are just behind those doors. So you can hear what they're saying, basically. And Mom and I were sitting there, and we could hear my oncologist on the telephone talking to my family doctor, and she was very upset that she had not followed up on this, that she had not done what she was supposed to do. Just to let you guys know that yes, there is an investigation that is going on into the conduct of my family doctor. I don't know what's going to come out of it. It wasn't a complaint that I registered, but there was a complaint registered, and they are following up on that. So, yes, she is being dealt with. It's just not by me. I personally am not suing her. I personally am not registering a complaint, but other healthcare professionals that are involved in my case are. My hope out of all of that is not that she, lose her license or anything like that, because I think essentially she is a good doctor. Let me tell you what happens here in Canada is we have a shortage of doctors here. Because we have universal health care, the doctors do not make up their own. If they work with the healthcare system and get paid by the universal healthcare system, they do not make up their own pricing. Like, I say I'm a doctor and I'm going to say I'm going to charge a patient $200 an hour. That's not how it works here. You get paid a flat rate. And I think it's something like $35. I'm not 100% sure, but it's around that price range, $35 or $40 for a visit. If it's like a total physical, it could be like $60. They don't get paid a lot. Not only that, my family doctor is overloaded, and a lot of the doctors, not just my family doctor, but a lot of the doctors are overloaded with patients. There's a lot of people here in Alberta and all across Canada that cannot find a family doctor because we have a doctor shortage. And they end up having to go to walk-in clinics, or they end up having to go to hospital for their medical needs. And a lot of the doctors are overloaded with patients. When I first got my family doctor, and she's been my family doctor for about 12 years. And when I first, sorry, I'm just grabbing my vape. And this, I'm cold. When I first got my family doctor, I was one of her first patients. And I have seen over the years her starting to get more and more and more patients, to where I believe that most of our family doctors here in Canada are overworked. They're overloaded. And as a result of that, they're missing things. It's not an excuse, but it is a reason. I think we need to have changes done in our whole healthcare system here in Canada. I try not to complain too much because I am one lucky person that I am living in Canada where I don't have to pay for my healthcare. I would not be able to afford it. I would not be able to afford it. So I try not to complain too much, but we do need to look at solutions so that our doctors are not overloaded or overworked. The other thing too is she works at the hospital at nighttime 2 or 3, 4, sometimes 5 times a week, depending on the scheduling there. And so they're going from being at the hospital all night in emergency and then going to the office during the day, sometimes for 2, 3 days in a row, with lack of sleep, lack of time to unwind, and these are the things that happen. So we need to really look at making changes to our healthcare system. And hopefully maybe, by being vocal about what has happened to me, maybe something will happen or come of that. I'm hoping. But for those of you that were concerned about whether or not she was being investigated, yes, she is. Again, just not by me. by other healthcare professionals who were concerned that this was not detected since 2015. When tests came back in 2015, when I had my routine pap smear done, and I had initially started complaining and had a ultrasound done on the uterus, and it showed that my uterus had enlarged and thickening of my endometrial lining, while nothing was done or further investigated. Wasn't even told about it. So yes, it is being investigated. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit about the other side effect that has really been bothering me, and that is exhaustion, and share some of my experiences and basically how I have been dealing with the exhaustion. Basically, nowadays, they have had a lot of great breakthrough with the nausea. We take about, I don't know, I take, I think, 3 or 4 different medications that help to control the nausea after chemotherapy. It's actually very rare nowadays for somebody to be vomiting or experiencing really bad nausea after chemotherapy, because there has been such a great advancement in the medications to control nausea. So my oncologist told me that the number one side effect now that cancer patients have to deal with, other than losing their hair, is exhaustion. And one of the reasons why the particular chemo combination that I'm doing is done on a 21-day cycle and for a maximum of 6 cycles at one time, or 6 treatments, is because of exhaustion. I will tell you, the exhaustion is undescribable. So the first time I did the chemo, I didn't get the exhaustion until about a week and a half to 2 weeks after my first chemotherapy. And then all of a sudden, I got hit with the exhaustion pretty intensely. And it lasted about a week. So I was just getting over it, or overcoming it, or recovering from the exhaustion when I had to do my second round of chemo. The exhaustion experience was like I had to sleep now. There was no waiting 5 minutes. If I was sitting up, I would fall asleep sitting up. If I were using the bathroom, I would fall asleep in the bathroom. It is no joke. It was overwhelming. I cannot describe it to you. I don't know how to describe it to you other than I had absolutely no energy. I remember I was sitting on the sofa and my cell phone was about 2.5, 3 feet away from me, plugged in, charging. And I have, when I need to take my medicine, I have it all scheduled in my iPhone. So it will ring, or my alarm will go off when I need to take my pills. And the alarm had gone off, and I could not move. I had absolutely no energy to get from where I was sitting on the sofa to 2.5, 3 feet over to where my cell phone was plugged in. My niece had to come and turn it off. I could not move. And I had about 2 or 3 days like that where I could not move. I basically either laid or sat or slept the whole day, doing absolutely nothing. I had energy for nothing, not even watching a movie. And it was overwhelming. Thank God it only lasted a couple of days like that. And then the remainder of the week, I just felt really worn down. Almost like the tired feeling that you get when you have a flu or a cold. Kind of like that. Or if you've ever taken Benadryl or Gravol and it makes you tired. What are the dogs barking at? I don't know what they're barking at. They bark all the time. It drives me crazy. I think they're done. But if you've ever taken Benadryl or gravel, like I get really drowsy on Benadryl and gravel, it literally knocks me out. That's kind of how the exhaustion feels. You are completely exhausted, tired. You have no energy um, to do even a simple task. It takes everything you've got to make yourself do it. To walk to the bathroom is almost impossible. But it only lasts a couple of days, and then you're just left with the tiredness, like really tired. And I will actually sleep most of the time, and I suffer from severe insomnia. So for me to be sleeping 20 hours out of 24 hours is almost impossible. But thanks to the chemo, I'm able to get some sleep. So what I found helps me is don't fight it. If you're tired and you're exhausted after chemo, don't fight it. Go and lay down, sleep, do what you have to do for the next couple of days. It will get better and you will overcome it. Keeping in mind that your side effects from chemotherapy do get worse as time goes on, as each treatment occurs, the side effects will intensify. But if you're tired, lay down, go to sleep, don't fight it. Fighting it is futile. You're not going to be able to do it, and you actually will make yourself even more tired if you try to fight it. So that's my number one tip. Don't fight it. Rest. Get your rest. Your body needs it. You got to think about it. You're being pumped with poison, toxins. Your body is filled with toxins, and it has killed not only cancerous cells, but good cells as well. And your body needs to repair. And how does it repair? How does your immune system repair? When we have a flu or we have a cold, we get tired because our body needs to rest, for our immune system to fight, for us to recover, for your body to repair. And it's the same thing with chemo. You need to rest in order for your body to repair. So don't fight it. Rest, get your sleep, get your rest, and in a few days, you will overcome that severe exhaustion. Once that phase is past and I'm in that kind of like I'm really tired all the time for a few days phase, I basically let myself nap 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, how many times a day I need to, and I listen to my body. So make sure you're napping, make sure you're resting. Don't do anything that's overdoing it, but also try to make sure that you get a little bit of exercise. What I'll do is I will walk around the rec room here a little bit. I'll go do a little bit of my artwork, even if it's 5 minutes, and then if I need to go nap, I'll go take a nap. But I do try to be a little bit active during that I'm tired phase. Not during the exhaustion phase where I'm like literally wiped out, but during the last couple of days of the tiredness, I will try to add some exercise in, because believe it or not, exercise does help you overcome the tiredness if you're really tired. And that's what I do. So I am in that tired stage. The second round of chemo, I seem to have gotten the exhaustion a lot quicker, and I'm just getting over it now, and I'm getting my chemo again Friday. In another 6 days, I do chemo again, and it just, it just feels like, okay, I get the chemo, and then I'm dealing with all these side effects for the 2.5 weeks, and then I'm only getting a couple of days of quality of living. But I gotta keep my mind focused on that end goal, and that is to do my 6 rounds so that I can be here longer with my family and friends, and that I am not suffering in a lot of pain. And so that's what I'm trying to keep my mind on. So, yeah, that's my tip. So I think I'm actually getting tired now that we're talking about tiredness. And I think I'm going to go have a little nap. And what I'm vaping on today is called, well, actually I got 2 new e-juices today. Fried bananas. It tastes really good. You can taste the banana and you can taste like a sweet desserty flavor, like a bit of a brown sugar. And then the other one is Frulu, and it's supposed to be like Fruit Loops. And it does taste a lot like Fruit Loops. It's really, really good. So, really good stuff. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off, and remember, if you liked this video, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos. And until next time, guys, happy living. Because life is full of joy. So this is my package that I got from my beautiful friend Linda. So I'm going to open it, and Amelia is going to do the recording. Okay. Can you see me? And the package?
I cannot. Can I?
Okay. So I'm going to open it up. I didn't want to open it because of the address labels, but safety first. So this is the card. I'm so excited. This is really emotional. Thank you, Linda. I really, really, really appreciate this. This is so overwhelming. So she made these for me. And oh my goodness, this was, the pink hat is designed to be scrunched and tucked at the back near the neck when worn. Ooh, this is so pretty. It is so pretty. I'm so excited. So this is the other hat. It's so pretty. Thank you so much. These are going to, oh, these are so pretty. And there's like a tie. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's like a tie in the back. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I love the flowers. And then the pink one, I guess you scrunch more where the pleats are. So I'm gonna scrunch back in here and tuck it. So pretty. Oh, I'm so excited.